My guest on the program is Mr. Ikharo, the chairman of the Federal Capital Territory Ministerial Task Team on City Sanitation. Were the residents of these illegal structures given enough time to move? Is this cleanup throwing away the baby with the bathwater? Are there plans for those rendered homeless by these demolitions? And will this move increase or reduce crime in the nation's capital? Please watch this. Mr. Ikharo, welcome to Dateline Abuja.
Thank you very much, Kila. I've been longing to come back home.
Every time I see you, you demolish something. Every time you come into this place, somebody is crying somewhere that they've demolished this building. How many places have you demolished so far? You gave them notice in March. So between March and now, how many demolitions have you done in the FCT?
I think you are, for me, I would prefer you to use a softer word.
Okay.
Like clearing. Removal of illegal structures and exercises.
I would love to, but the complaints about the demolitions are so much.
Yeah,
and there's the criminal element, but we'll get to that shortly.
Yeah, you know.
But let's begin. Let's actually begin with how many you've done so far since you gave the notice in March.
We've done so many, depending on the community. We're currently at the Airport Road community, the one we called Zamani and several other communities at the Airport Road. We've been to Soka community. We did something little there. We've been to Kuchingoro community. We did something small. Karamajiji, they appealed to us for more extension. We did that. We have gone to Karu market area to clear off shanties that pushed inside the market out. And there are extremely so many, so many. Even Zone 3, we've cleared it before. They return back again. Bambolas, we clear again. I think it's an ongoing. There are so many. It's not what you can count.
One of them that was of note, and it's interesting that you didn't mention it, was the old secretariat in Area 1.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because at the time, there were complaints that there were some IDPs, some internally displaced persons within the area. But you did mention at the time that there were few of them towards the Dunamis Church side, not necessarily at the place where the demolition happened.
I don't think we had IDPs behind the secretariat. We don't really. Even when Senator Ali Ndome came, he couldn't see IDPs.
Well, he told them to register their names.
And he told them to register their name as persons, but he looked around, and I told him, look around. He looked around. He did not see IDP. Yeah, there are some IDP after the Dunamis area, but not within the areas we cleared.
These are so many communities. Is it possible for you to estimate how much has been lost as a result of these demolitions?
The issue of how much has been lost, I think you would have asked us how much we have saved. Because one, those areas are not supposed to be in the first place.
But those are people's properties. I know that they were illegal structures. I understand that they're illegal structures.
No.
I understand that these are shanties, but these are people's properties.
If you just suppose, you have created a foundation, a bedrock of illegality, whatever you put disappears. That's the truth, Akela here. You said they are all illegal structures. They are not in approved area. Then upon what basis are you putting them on the foundation? The foundation is gross illegality. The foundations are roadside. The foundations are water corridors. The foundations are, what do you call it now, floodplains. The foundations are just rail corridor, whatever you build there can stand.
After the demolition, what do you do next? Do you follow up on these people who are now homeless? Do you have some kind of rehabilitation plan for them? Is there some kind of compensation, even if it's little, just so they can hold their body and minds together for a little while? For the ones that have children,
on the foundation of what? On the foundation of what?
On the foundation of the fact that these are human beings.
I know. The houses you're talking about,
so when you've
built on the foundation. Let me tell you something.
So you've demolished it. What happens to the people?
No, let me tell you something that will interest you. When we went to Edo, some houses there were so expensive that I had to put myself together and marvel. Someone asked us, are you going to remove these structures? And I said, God, we're going to remove them. Mighty structure, somewhat over 200 million naira, but on a land.
There's probably a water plane.
No. The agreement was signed on the foolscap sheet. If you observe all where we have been going to, nobody, as China's covered those reports, nobody flashed a title document that I own this land, this is my property, this is my document. You've not seen anybody flash a document before Channels Television that this is my document, they demolished my house. You've not seen one. Because they don't have titles to the property. You cannot compensate somebody who sees a floodplain, no allocation paper built on it. On what ground are you taking public fund to compensate him? On what ground?
In places like Area 1, there has been a rise in petty crime, in Area 1 at least.
Correct.
And the reason why there's a rise in that crime, many people believe, is because of the demolitions.
No.
After the demolition of those shanties, there was no rehabilitation for the people.
No.
So they move into the community and commit their crimes.
Those are self-deception that people tell themselves. Before we move in there March, the amount of crime around the old secretariat was at rooftop. The Ministry of Interior wrote to the FCT minister. The permanent secretary came complaining. They came almost begging that people have been stealing from their staff, stealing, even jumping the fence into the secretariat complex to steal. Crime was high. Because when you have bachelors and shanties, criminals got easy hideout.
So has crime reduced in this place?
No, within the old secretariat where we cleaned, it has reduced heavily. When you go to development control department and environmental, there are several markings. When you are starting to put, but they will mark it, say, please don't do this.
These are short-term solutions. You demolish, they come back.
They are not short-term solutions.
This is not the first time you're demolishing. We've been talking about demolition for years.
Let me tell you
the
why.
question is there a long-term plan to stop shanties?
Let me tell you.
Is there a long-term plan? Some kind of mass housing scheme, something?
No. Do you know why you're talking about this now? You're talking about this now because it's an ongoing conversation. It's an ongoing exercise.
So what's the long-term plan?
Let me tell you. The first thing I always tell enforcement officers, both road traffic officers, the VIO, the road safety, both the police, both other enforcement officers, the long-term plan is to keep doing your job. The moment you stop doing your job, wrong things will emanate in the city.
The notice for these demolitions, because a few of the people whose houses and whose structures were demolished said, look, the time that you gave us to move our things is not enough. You told us in February, and then you're here in March or in April to demolish. They feel like they need more time. I know this look on your face. It is how much time is enough. I know this look on your face. But they do have that complaint. It exists. They say, look, it's not enough time.
Let me tell you something. Most of these structures have been marked 6, 7, 8 years ago. We only come now because we know that we are going to work on the very strong affirmative. So as we come now to mark, they know we are going to come. So we mark.
So you think
when you have been given 6 years,
they're running a game?
No.
Or they are playing on the fact that we think the humanity of it, and then they can
you've been given
their crimes.
6 years notice. It was marked 6 years ago. You still stay in there. Even when we went to Idosa, but we saw markings of about 6, 7 years. We still on our own remark again. With that one we gave you 6 years ago, it's already done. We can't give up on the city. And we must know one thing. There's so massive influx into the city. And that means that people believe in the city. Where
next are you going to? For demolitions. So that people that live in those neighborhoods who are watching right now.
The word demolition so hard.
So that the people who live in these neighborhoods, they can hear it now and start to make plans
most people, when we go, we give them notices. We look at our plan and our program and everything, and we're working on them.
You don't want to tell us where you're going to next?
Don't worry. What I know, and I'm certain, is that Channels, with their investigative news characteristics and their nose for news, we know where I'm going to.
Well, on that note, thank you so much, Mr. Ikharo, for being with us on Dateline Abuja.
Thank you very much, Kayla. A wonderful time being on this very hot seat.
Well, good luck with the work that you do.
Thank you.
Thanks to my guest and to everyone who spoke to us today on the program. The nation's capital has a master plan, one that was created to ensure the smooth running of life, business, and governance here. Sticking to this plan has been a nightmare for the FCT authorities. They must deal with corruption within their ranks and a disturbing determination by some elements to remain unlawful, especially with building construction. Can the clean house approach of the FCT administration be sustained? This isn't the first time that they've tried to clean house. Can this drive be maintained despite whose ox is gored? Can there be a solution that reflects the country's realities? Massive poverty and insecurity will cause migration. That is just a fact. So what do you do with the migrants? Maybe it's time to think bigger than this box. That's Dateline Abuja this week. Please let us know the happenings in your neighborhood using the social media handles showing right now on your screen. Thank you so much for watching. I am Kayla Megwa. See you next time.